pleased to say that our first range of products is on the water now, and we'll start production in July 2024. And we're going to have a range of monitors that will start off on a consumer range, which was the international call center, which sits in the room behind us, where we have 27 people who are employed to look after the English-speaking component of Europe, Acer Europe, which it started out as.
Good day, everybody. Today we are at Acer head office. We are joined by Glenn Du Toit. Glenn, thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you, Sam. Thanks for joining us.
Good, thank you. Glenn, let's start by just having a conversation on why we are here. What is it that's special that you got this invitation for us to be sitting here?
So, Sam, we decided to invite the press around after Computex last week, and we invited everybody around to come and have a look at some of the latest devices that Acer has launched globally, and obviously from an African continent point of view as well. And we are showcasing some of the new ranges and the new categories of product that Acer is going to be going into in the coming months.
And what's your view of in terms of growth of the channel business in South Africa, where you guys are?
So we believe that the channel business is an area that requires a lot of attention, not only because there's a lot of opportunity, but because with a lot of the some of the bigger vendors and some of the bigger brands going more and more direct, that the small businesses are getting bypassed for whatever reason. It's their strategy, not ours. Ours is a channel first strategy, and we believe that we need to be closer and work closer with the resellers to see how we can grow it. And that requires us to do a special initiative in the channel business for the SMB businesses and the resellers.
Yeah, thank you. Early on, you mentioned some interesting news and the plans that you have for South Africa. You said you guys will be, you're ready now to be assembling monitors locally. Can you tell our viewers a bit more about that project? It sounds interesting.
Very excited on that one there, Sam, because it's been 18 months that we've been working on it. We identified that monitors was an opportunity, not only from a commercial point of view, but was also an opportunity for us to do local content, local procurement, local assembly. And we started the process of that. And we're pleased to say that our first range of products is on the water now, and we'll start production in July 2024. And we're going to have a range of monitors that will start off on a consumer range that will be available through, if I look at the commitment that some of the retailers have made, almost every single retailer in the country. And then we will also have a commercial range of products, which is slightly higher spec with more requirements, more for the business use. And those will all be locally assembled in one of our partner factories in the East Rand.
You mentioned that this is also part of a contribution to employment in South Africa. Can you just maybe elaborate a bit more there when it comes to?
So I've been in the electronics industry for the better part of my 30 years in my career, and one of the things that's always stood out for me as a passion is that we need to actively be looking for ways to contribute not only to selling computers and technology, whether it's hi-fis or whatever it happens to be, but to create to contribute towards local employment. And that gave rise to a passion not only of mine, but of my line management overseas, to turn around and say, what are the opportunities? What could we potentially do? And a couple of years ago, we launched our first initiative, which was the international call center, which sits in the room behind us, where we have 27 people who are employed to look after the English-speaking component of Europe, Acer Europe, which it started out as, and it has grown. We've brought on a couple of other products from an international point of view, and that was the first job creation initiative that Acer did. It's part of our DNA, that part of breaking down the barriers between people and technology as to what we want to do, is that we do need to contribute to the people's lifestyles. And that's where we then came up with the initiative that the next project we wanted to embark on was what we refer to as local assembly of product. I say local assembly of product because we don't want to limit it only to monitors.
Yeah.
We want to have a look at what other products we could potentially do. So as I mentioned, we'll be looking at our carry bags that we sell in stores, at seeing what we can do to procure those through local sources as well, rather than importing everything from overseas.
Yeah.
And it's very, very small. We understand that it might not necessarily be a very big market, especially for Acer in this regard, but every single job counts, and that's what we want to work towards.
Definitely. I think, with the high numbers of unemployment, I think one job even makes a difference, you know.
And we don't have to be too technical about it.
Yeah.
If we start having the mechanism whereby we can teach learners who are in their second, final, whatever year of a TVET or of a university, how to load a BIOS on a computer, how to load software, how to do it in practical, we create a practical application and technology literacy in the process as well. So it's not only about maybe a paycheck, but it's also about skills development as well. And that's quite key for us. So those are the areas that we want to sort of explore, focus, and see what we're able to do. And while the current team is there, we're going to keep trying it, knocking on doors.
Interesting, thank you. And one of the things that I've observed, you have introduced us to a range of power devices or power solutions that you guys are bringing in. Can you talk about that a bit?
Yeah, so I think that everybody who's been in South Africa for the last couple of years has at one stage or another found themselves wanting for electricity.
Yeah.
And Acer globally has got what is called Acer Power, Mobile Power Solutions,
Yeah.
MPS. And it's a business that runs from overseas. And what they do is they do industrial power solutions.
Yeah.
And the technology has obviously developed out of our skills and our understanding of PC batteries and things like that. And this was sort of one of the areas. And we'll be launching a 600 watt backup unit. In fact, that's more portable unit for if you're going camping or whatever it is. And then we'll have a 1700 watt and a 3000 watt with battery backup and things like that, where we're going to be making it available in South Africa. We do understand that the South African market is quite overtraded at the moment, and it's quite a, bold move. Some would call it, timing is not great. But there's no better time than now. And we believe that as part of Acer's evolution in the industry and in the tech industry, we need to embrace those international trends that are going on. As I mentioned in the plenary conversation that we were having, is that power solutions aren't only for countries that don't have power. Countries that do have power still use them as backup and mobile power solutions, and that's where we see it fitting in.
Okay, Glenn, thank you so much. As we conclude, what are some of your near-term plans going forward for Acer Africa? What should people expect coming from you?
We are on a drive to help businesses be more efficient.
Yep.
And we are going to be doing that through incorporating a lot of artificial intelligence onto our devices. Now, AI is one of the most spoken about things at the moment.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere where you don't bump into a sign that says somebody's AI technology and everything. But from an Acer point of view, we are making AI accessible to everyday users in the business environment.
Yeah.
And the reason we're doing that is because the technology exists to make people more efficient.
Yeah.
And what we're going to be launching in the coming months, which we're really excited about, it was announced at Computex last week, was TravelMate Sense, which is a business application that sits on our devices that will assist users, not businesses per se, but users utilize artificial intelligence in a practical manner to make their lives faster and more efficient. And we're going to be focusing quite extensively on the practical application of that in partnership with our alliance partners, Microsoft. We do a lot of work with Microsoft with their Copilot and Copilot Plus technologies to bring that and make that available and accessible to businesses more and more. So that's going to be a big focus of ours over the coming 6 to 7 months. And in between now and then, there's a couple of other projects that we're not ready to talk about. They're sitting on the precipice of, yes, will it work, won't it work at the moment. But I think that in the coming years, we're definitely going to be hearing more about some of the local initiatives that Acer is embarking on to make our technology more accessible and more practical in the South African context.
Glenn, thank you so much for the time to invite us. We've learned a lot.
Always a
And
pleasure, Sam. Thanks very much.
Hopefully we'll be back again to have more discussions.
Absolutely. And please feel free. I think there's going to be a lot. And I think that the onus on the guys is to interrogate not only what the latest technology trends are that we're busy working on, but also how that technology is practical in the South African sense.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching ITWeb on the road. Please visit the website to learn more. Thank you.